So great to see you again. It's Judy from Coffee Cookies and Books, and it is book haul time. That's right, I have two parts, and this is part one. Again, so great to see you. Now, like I did the last time, I am splitting my book haul into two parts. So this first part that I'm going to show you today is mostly romance and fantasy romance, that kind of thing. I have a couple of nonfiction and one contemporary fiction, but the majority of it fits in the romance category. Then what I'll have in the next video is essentially cozy mystery, thrillers, and some sci-fi. So that's kind of how I've split it up. So this first one, I think I've got a total of about 14 books, and we're just going to go through them as quick as I can. I'll give you a quick synopsis, let you know if I got them, where I got them from. A lot of them were probably, particularly with the fantasy, a lot of it is pre-orders that I did. And yeah, so if I got them from Book of the Month, Aardvark, whatever, I will let you know one way or the other where I got them from. Okay, so the first two that I'm going to talk to you about, just going to be really super quick. I have had these books for actually quite some time. Have not registered them on my Goodreads, which is why I thought, well, you know what, I'll include them in here. These are self-help books. I don't read a lot of these, but these were recommended to me by friends of mine when I was running my photography business and then moving from photography into retouching, which is almost my sole income at this point. I was told that I should read these. So the first one is Get Rich, Lucky Bitch by Denise Duffel Thomas. I think she's Australian, if I'm not mistaken. It was a great book, read through the whole thing. I realized after I read these, I'm not really a self-help girly, but I did enjoy both books. So, you know, I read through them and I like them. I particularly like this one. This is by Jen Sincero, and it's You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. So, both self-help, and I thought I'd just mention them really quick here if anybody's interested in that type of book, that type of reading. So the first one is just the one contemporary fiction that I did pick up from Book of the Month, which is My Friends from Frederick Backman. And I had wanted to pick this up when it first came out, but my cart was full. And so I thought, well, you know what, I'll wait. And it just so happened that this month I had room to put this one and one other one, but it's in my thriller collection, so I will mention it. But this was one. It says, the world is full of miracles, but none greater than how far a young person can be carried by someone else's belief in them. I thought that sounded like a beautiful story. I have read Beartown, quite enjoyed it. You know, wasn't a 5-star, but I think it was a 4.5. And super emotional story, but still loved it, loved his writing. So I thought I would give this one a try. And, you know, Book of the Month. Next one was a pre-order, and that is Love Arranged, which is the third book in the Lakefront Billionaire series. Now, first one, which I think was Love Redesigned, that was kind of like a middle of the road for me. But the second one, and you think I can remember the title. I don't know if I have it, if I've stashed it up here. Anyways, yeah, I can't seem to find it. I know it's here somewhere. Loved the second one. I think Love Redesigned or Love Arranged. No. Can't remember. Isn't that terrible? It's terrible. But the second one was 5 stars for me. Now, this one here is, of course, 2 characters that I actually quite liked. And in the second book, it was leading into what was going to happen in this book. kind of saw it coming. So sort of already know it's going to go. Now, these books are thick, but they read really fast. Like this is about the same length as the second book, and I zipped through the second book. Like, yeah, just hammered through it. Now, part of that was probably because I liked it a lot, but we will see how this one goes. So this is Lily and Lorenzo. And Lily is the sister of the guy who was the main character in the first book, the main male character in the first book. And Lorenzo was the antagonist, the guy that nobody likes from the books. So it's going to be interesting to see where this one goes. Yeah, I can't wait to see how that plays out. Okay, then I picked up Leave Me Behind, and I loved this cover. I hated the other cover. I know everybody says they really love the other cover. I did not like the other cover at all. But when I saw that they were coming out in this format and has like the sprayed skulls on the edge. Now this is a military suspenseful romance, which is, I love those kinds of romances. That is really my jam. It says, together our broken pieces can do anything. So it's Nell and Malum. Is that his name? Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I think that they end up, it's a one night stand, and then they end up together somehow. Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm going to like it based on everything and all the reviews that I've heard of it. It sounds like it's really my kind of book. So, yeah. And I know that the other two that are part of the series are actually coming out this fall, I think November and December. So if I really like this, I'll pre-order the other ones. And they're in the same format. So they all come in sort of this new cover style. I actually love this. And what is it? Only Good Riot Soldier is a dead one. It says right on the top. And yeah, so it's by K.M. Morinova. Leave Me Behind. So didn't know if I said this one's by Lauren Asher, but anybody who knows the series knows that that's by Lauren Asher. I'm like terrible for that. Okay, the next one that I thought sounded really interesting is Unwanted by Mia Sheridan. I have never read anything by Mia Sheridan, but I liked the idea of this one. I thought it sounded great. His eyes meet hers, vulnerability filling his expression. Everyone gave me away, no one kept me. Her heart stuttered, squeezed. I'll keep you, she whispered. So this is wilderness guide Harper Ward is summoned to her small town, Montana's sheriff's office, to help with the double murder investigation. She's shocked to find that their only suspect in the case is a man cut off from civilization entirely. So again, I liked the idea that it's a romance, but it's built around a murder investigation. So there's suspense involved in it. Love that. Love that. And I love that in romance novels, particularly. So yeah, so I grabbed that one. I think there's one more out. So I think there's just the two of them right now, but I do know it's a series. The other one I picked up is X Marks the Stalker by K.N. Wilder. It is book one in the Hemlock Society. I loved it. This is like a brick. It's floppy, but it's like a brick. It's got some sprayed edges on it. It is self-published, I believe. Now, I saw this being offered as an ebook on BookBub, and it is, she's a serial killer. She hunts killers. He is one, so he is too. Opposites attract. Opposites attract has never been so literal. Crime journalist Oakley Novak has built her career exposing Boston's darkest secrets, but she never expected a serial killer to turn the tables and stalk her. So she hunts them, he kills. So he's the serial killer. So maybe, because there is another one also. So I think it's a little bit like maybe, it sounds a bit like Butcher and Blackbird, because It says, if you're obsessed with dark romance laced with wicked humor, serial killers with a knack for banter, and heroines who wield wit as sharply as weapons, this sinful story will carve its way into your soul. I loved that. Now, the other thing is that when I looked, it had half decent rating, but very few reviews and ratings. And I was like, oh, it sounds fantastic. Like the blurb is fantastic. So I picked it up. So we're going to see how this one goes, because I love the whole serial killer. Like, I loved the Butcher and Blackbird, and I even liked the second one. Some people didn't like the second one. I liked the second one, and I do have the third one. I have not read it yet, but yeah, so love those kinds of stories. Very much looking forward to that. Then, kind of in the vein of that, I have just got from Aardvark, Witch You Would by Leah Amador. Okay, so this is when a young witch gets a life-changing chance to compete in a magical reality show, sparks fly as she's partnered with a man she can't stand. And now, like, this happens in Miami, so this is like urban and current, but it is a paranormal romantic comedy. And as soon as I saw that, and I thought that looked hilarious. I love reading stuff like that. This is kind of like the romantic paranormal version of a cozy mystery. Perfect. Love it. So cannot wait to read that one. All right, so let's get into the fantasy book. So one of the pre-orders I had was Accomplice to the Villain, which is the third book in the Assistant to the Villain series. I read the first one, absolutely loved the first book. Loved the first book. I have not read the second one yet. This is the third one. I think there's 4. Don't quote me on that, but I think there's 4 by Hannah Nicole Mayer. And this is just continuing on with Evie, who in the first book, she is jobless and she gets offered a job by the villain. And, she's not very sure about it in the beginning, but she goes to work for him, and it does seem to work out. But, he's a villain, and where villains go, trouble follows. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I thought it was great. It was, it's not like a deep, epic fantasy. It just was a lot of fun. And I like books that are a lot of fun. It breaks up the more serious stuff. So, very much looking forward to it. Again, this one's got some nice sprayed edges. But yeah, so this was like I said, it was a pre-order that I had. And can't wait to read them. So I would say that these 2 would probably make it onto my, if they don't get picked between now and the end of the year, they go on my must reads for 2026, more than likely, because I want to finish off that series before the 4th one comes out. So next one is Direbound by Sable Sorensen. It is a Wolves of Ruin novel, so I have no idea how many there's going to be in the series. It says only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. So I loved the sound of it. Now, it's super thick, but it looks like it'll be a pretty fast read. It is 570 pages, so almost 600 pages, but it's spaced out. Small text, but spaced out. So I don't think it'll be that much. Yeah, we'll see. But I bought this after I saw several reviews on it, because I can say that initially the whole paranormal wolves and werewolves and that kind of fantasy, romantic fan, I do like that type of romantic romance. I like that type of romance, but not with so much of a fantastical element usually. But based on the reviews I heard, that's why I picked it up. Uh, Hopefully I'll like it. If I don't like the first one, this will go up for sale. I'll unhaul it. So, worth giving it a try. The next one that I picked up was, again, based on recommendations, The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. So I picked this up purely based on the fact that it sounded like a type of fantasy that I would like. Now, it says, The Raven Scholar is a masterfully woven tale of imperial intrigue from an electrifying new voice in epic fantasy. Let us fly now to the Empire Oberon, where after 24 years of peace, the reign of Burson the Brusque has come to an end. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 exceptional warriors, thinkers, and strategists compete to replace him. When one of them is murdered, it befalls to Nima Kra, the Emperor's brilliant, idiosyncratic high scholar, to find the killer and fight for the throne. Nima believes she is alone, but we are here to help. All she has to do is let us in. So I liked the idea that it sounded like it had a bit of a mystery built into it, because I love the idea of mystery. I don't think it has romance built into it, but if it had a touch of that, I would be okay with that, as long as it's not the main element of it. Like, I just finished reading Foxglove King, and it is touted as a romantic fantasy, but the romance takes a back seat. There is the relationship development between the main character, but there is no romance. Perhaps relationship undertones, but that is it. Loved that about the book. One of my favorite things about the book. So I'm hoping that that's the case with this, but we'll see. I mean, like, it reminds me a little bit of the Tainted Cup. And oh my God, I love the Tainted Cup. That was like a 5-star read for me. So next one from Book Outlet, I got Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Not Book Outlet, Book of the Month, sorry. And it's got the sprayed edges. I don't think they do anything. No, that's nothing fancy. Book of the Month doesn't do. They'll do the sprayed edges, and they have like really nice end papers, feeling end papers. But that's about it to it. And I grabbed this. First of all, I read Once Upon a Broken Heart. Have not loved that. I do have the other 2 books in the series. We'll read them just because I got them as a group, but didn't care for it. Now, this is more of an urban fantasy. It takes place in LA. I think it's like around Hollywood era type thing. It just sounds more my cup of tea. Not sure about her writing, but I didn't hate the writing in Once Upon a Broken Heart. I just didn't like the story. So I thought I'd try this. It's just over 300 pages, not super long, as you can tell. So we'll give it a shot, see how it goes. Okay. Next one is Silvercloak. I had this on pre-order. It's got these beautiful sprayed edges. It's got this gorgeous map on the inside here. It's got like kind of an embossed symbol on the front. I loved the map. I thought the map was like amazing. I love it when they have the maps like that. I think that and they're in color, and you can refer back to them. And yeah, it's got this the book is beautifully done. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So I thought I loved the sound of this. I had featured it in my upcoming releases video, And at that point, I liked the sound of it. I think it has to do with military academy, which was one of the reasons why it interests me. It says, in this addictive new fantasy series, set in a world where magic is fueled by pleasure and pain, an obsessive detective infiltrates a brutal gang of dark mages, knowing that one wrong move will get her killed. Loved it. So can't wait to read that one. Sounds like it's right up my alley. Yeah. And then the last one is book one of the Bloodwing Academy, On Wings of Blood by Blair Bolin. And it's got cool sprayed edges, fun end papers. So I believe this, it does, yeah, nothing on the front cover, back cover. I believe this has to do with dragons and vampires, I think. What does it say here? Let's read it, shall we? Welcome to Bloodwing Academy. Expect magic, expect competition, expect blood. I didn't sign up for this. A half-fae in a school of high-blood vampires. That's a recipe for suffering. I'm Medra Pendragon, last of the dragon riders. Or so they tell me. Funny thing is, there are no dragons left. Not a single one. But somehow that hasn't stopped the vampires from deciding I'm worth capturing. Now I'm stuck at Bloodwing Academy, where the high bloods run everything, and Blightborn like me, we're just blood in their veins, pawns in their games. It is a romantasy, but I like the fact that it kind of blends vampires and dragons. Yeah, and I love the edges. I thought it was really cool. And I'm not usually one for the edges, but you know, if I can get them, I'll get them. So that's it for what I have for romance, romantasy, that sort of thing. I think there's some really great books there. Now I have to log all those in my Goodreads, which should be fun. But thank you for sticking around. Now, don't forget, I do have part 2 will follow of this, and that will be mysteries, cozy mysteries, and thrillers with a little bit of sci-fi built in. So have that one. I think it's about 20 bucks. So can't wait to bring that to you. And yeah, I love getting new books. It's just so much fun. And if you made it this far, I would love it if you could like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you in book haul number 2.